Hi, I'm Rob Appell from Man Sewing, and I think I can fix just about anything, but I really work primarily in the textile world. I have my training as a sewing machine technician, but I'm also a master quilter and educator. I can't wait to show you what we've got for you today.
Hey Rob, thanks so much for having me.
Thanks for coming over. This is awesome.
This is an amazing space.
Thank you.
You have so many sewing machines.
I do, and these are just the ones you can see. I've got them hidden everywhere as well.
Oh my goodness. Tell us a little bit about your background and how you got started.
How much film do we have? I really started in my mom's quilt shop, the Cotton Ball, which is here in Morro Bay. She had the opportunity to bring in a sewing machine dealership, but one of the rules was that in order to sell the machines, you had to be able to fix the sewing machines. I went through several days of training, and you have to be part of a dealership and you go focus on that brand's specific models, their most current stuff where they're teaching you the technology, but I didn't even know what a hand wheel was, or a stitch plate was, or a presser foot was.
Give me some examples of maybe something that I could do myself with my own sewing machine.
Sure, I'm gonna give you the most common phone call I get that I fix over the phone, and I sound like a genius. How's that sound? So a common mistake a lot of folks make is they thread the machine with the presser foot down. And a lot of the reason that it's a mistake is folks don't realize that the presser foot opens the tension. So the phone call is, I just rethreaded the machine and I've got a bunch of thread under the project. So on the bottom side, everyone thinks it's the bobbin because the bobbin's under the project. But it's the fact that the discs were closed, the thread sat on top of the tension and made a giant caterpillar on the back of the project.
So when is it a good time to take it to a professional and maybe not risk the repair yourself?
About every 2 years, the machine should go in for a routine oil clean maintenance because there's bushings in the machines. There are all kinds of parts inside the machines that a professional needs to deal with, and we don't want people trying to strip down the machines. There's electronics everywhere and stuff like that. But today's machines are controlled by a little electronic stepping motors, and so we both service the machines mechanically and electronically.
I saw a couple of maintenance videos actually recently on your channel. So tell us a little bit about how you got started on like being in front of the camera and showing people not only maintenance but how to sew.
Man Sewing is what I think you're referring to, and that's my YouTube channel. And so every Monday we put out a free tutorial that is education about sewing, quilting, and a lot of folks were asking, can you give us some maintenance stuff? So we did tension, we did timing, and we did overall cleaning and oiling of the machines as 3 separate videos. I don't have a brand paying me to teach this. I'm teaching it because I think it's what everybody needs to know.
So for someone who maybe is just starting out and really wants to get into sewing, they have a machine.
Right.
What would you recommend that they have in their house for possibly maintenance or just making sure that they're staying on track and staying creative?
Sure. Well, one of the things I do is I always use like a nylon brush that has kind of a big bristle pipe cleaner on one side and a small like a paintbrush head on the other. I want folks dusting their machines with a brush, not with a can of spray air. Using good quality threads and good quality fabric just makes the machines more lint-free, good needle. Having a sewing machine oil, so we never use 3-in-1 oil. There's a specific sewing machine oil that is super, super clear. So I believe that people should really understand the full function of the machine. And I believe that nobody knows more about their machine really than they do.
Speaking of tinkering and taking things apart, I see this machine.
Oh yeah.
It looks like you've been customizing it a little bit. Can we see it?
Yeah. So being able to repair, also you can be creative. So I knew how to take it completely apart, so I stripped it down and totally repainted it. But all of my working parts, my tension and everything, stayed cool because I took it off, so it didn't get any residual spray paint. But some of the other things I like to do is at one point, like these are LED lights, and there usually is one of them connected. There's another modification up in here. There's a bank of LED lights.
Oh wow!
So this can get very bright inside of here. People can put on thread towers on their sewing machines because this helps the thread peel off more successfully.
So why do you think it's important to learn the art of sewing?
Let's start with mending and the construction and being able to repair and recycle things. And then of course I love the creative process. And being able to think up something, you know, whether it's curtains for the van I lived out of, the snowboarding jacket I made before they made snowboarding jackets, or art for the walls and all that kind of stuff. But the warm spot in my heart that it's giving me in my community, like I go out in my community and I'm proud. Like I walk through town and I feel like I fixed her machine and I helped with this project and we chose colors for this project, and it's a really special place to be, especially in a small town.
So what if someone is watching this video right now?
Right.
Could be you. And they're super inspired and they want to get started. Where should they start? Where should a beginner just like who's never picked up a needle and thread before go?
Well, first I'm going to say I'm very accessible. So rob@mansewing.com is my email address. And I'm happy to answer questions. I may not get to them right away, but I will answer those questions. Then my YouTube channel is Man Sewing on YouTube. And there's a variety of different kinds of videos there, so they can really get involved. But we have all the other kind of social media too. So people want to just lurk for a while and see what people are talking about. But for the different kinds of content, whether they're maintenance videos on machines or how to make a quilt or how to make I just did a fun customized sweatshirt kind of thing, those kinds of things. So those are all on the YouTube channel.
Well, thank you so much for having us.
Thanks for coming out.
I am going to stick around so you can show me a couple of things.
Let's get started. Sounds like a fun plan.